Ruben Neves is extremely overrated. I'm not a Ruben Neves fan at all. I think that he's a very... I feel your pain. I feel your frustration. I woke up this morning as well wondering how come we haven't signed anyone this January. But then I brewed myself a fresh cup of coffee, drank my coffee, thought about it for a while, and came to realize that actually it's not that big of a deal. And in this video, I'll tell you exactly why that's the case. Today, February 1st, is Ed Woodward's last day in charge at Manchester United. Today, he's being replaced by Richard Arnold as vice chairman at Manchester United. Now, in every organization in the world, it doesn't matter if it's a football club, a corporation, or a nation, whenever there is a transition of power, then the whole organization just goes into a state of semi-hibernation, where the day-to-day operations keep on going, but every big strategic decision is actually delayed until the next management comes in to make those decisions. And it makes sense. Richard Arnold will want to do things differently than the way Ed Woodward was doing them. And so if during January, Ed Woodward made any transfer decisions, then that may hinder Richard Arnold's plans in the future at Manchester United. So I think that it was the sensible thing for Manchester United to just wait it out during the January transfer window and just postpone any transfer plans we may have until the summer. I think that sometime between now and summer, Ralf Rangnick and Richard Arnold are going to have many conversations regarding where to take the club from here. As in, how do we solve the dressing room issues? Who are the players we need to keep? Who are the players we need to get rid of as fast as possible? And then in order to play the type of football that you want us to play, then what kind of targets should we focus in? Who should we put in our shortlist? Who should we remove from our shortlist based on the targets that we had previously? And so based on this conversation, only after they've had this conversation, will we know for sure what kind of player Manchester United is actually going for in the summer. And so it just makes sense that they did not move for anyone in January and they're postponing that until the summer. So let's look at two midfield players that Manchester United has been linked with this January and who there was genuine interest for, but whose transfers to Manchester United did not materialize. Let's start with Ruben Neves. Listen, roast me in the comment section because I'm gonna say an unpopular opinion here. Ruben Neves is extremely overrated. I'm not a Ruben Neves fan at all. I think that he's a very limited, very average type of player. How do I know that? It's not a feeling that I have, it's that I looked at the stats. I looked at the stats for every metric that matters for a defensive midfielder. Those being, successful pressures per 90, tackle completion rate, passing completion rate, key passes per 90, tackles plus interceptions per 90, distance covered per 90, everything that matters, everything that makes a defensive midfielder a good defensive midfielder. I compared his stats to Scott McTominay, to Aurélien Tchouameni from Monaco, and to Boubacar Kamara from Marseille. And in all of these metrics, he always comes either third or fourth. In many metrics, he's actually below Scott McTominay. In many metrics, he's way below Aurélien Tchouameni or Boubacar Kamara. They are much better players than Ruben Neves, right? And so why are you going to pay 40 to 50 million pounds for a player who is limited, who is not that much of an improvement on what we currently have? Manchester United, if we are paying money from now on, we have to go for la crème de la crème. Think Bruno Fernandes, a player you pay like 50 million pounds for. He comes in, makes an instant difference, hits the ground running, much better than anything we have. Ruben Neves is not that player. Tell me, answer this question. Why isn't Ruben Neves being linked or being targeted by any of the big clubs? Real Madrid, Toni Kroos and Modric are on their way out at Real Madrid. Real Madrid are like having a midfield revolution right now. Why isn't Ruben Neves in the conversation? Well, Camavinga is, Tchouameni is, Jude Bellingham is, Declan Rice is, right? But Ruben Neves is definitely not in the conversation. So why should we pay 40 million pounds for a player who is very limited and who's not truly world class? And the reason why I don't want Ruben Neves at Manchester United is not only because of the transaction, as in we give Wolves 40 to 50 million pounds, we get Ruben Neves. But you have to think about the opportunity cost. The Mason Greenwood situation has put us in a very tough situation and has just changed and shifted our priorities for next summer. He's not going to play for Manchester United ever again. So we might have to look for a winger and a striker. Cavani is leaving. Greenwood is not going to play. And Anthony Martial, I don't know what the future holds for him, but he doesn't seem to be in Ralf Rangnick's plans. So we have Cristiano Ronaldo, Elanga, Rashford, and Sancho as our only four forward options. And only one of those which is Cristiano Ronaldo, is an out-and-out striker. That means we will need another number 9 to compete with Cristiano Ronaldo and another right-sided winger, someone like Antony from Ajax or Rafinha from Leeds, right? So while defensive midfielder was our only priority last summer, currently it's not our only priority. So we have to be much smarter, which leads me to the second player, Boubacar Kamara, another excellent young player who Manchester United have really been linked with, and there is quite a lot of evidence to show that Manchester United and especially Ralf Rangnick really like this player, and he's a very good player. However, when you look at the Boubacar Kamara transfer in January, it makes sense for all the three parties involved, Boubacar Kamara, Manchester United and Olympique Marseille, to actually wait for the summer for him to come to Manchester United for free. Let's start with Olympique Marseille. They are currently third in Liga. That means that they have a very realistic chance of making it into next season's Champions League group stages. If they make it to the group stages, they will earn 40 or 50 million pounds of extra revenue just for being in the Champions League. And they have a much higher chance of making it to the Champions League with Boubacar Kamara in their team. If they sold him to us in January for like 5 to 8 million pounds, that's peanuts compared to what they could be making if they were in the Champions League. Then there is Boubacar Kamara himself. He's currently playing week in, week out for Marseille, and he's playing very well in a system that fits him very well, and he's learning and improving every game. If he comes to Manchester United, currently Ralf Rangnick is playing with the midfield 3, with Scott McTominay as our number 6, and then Bruno Fernandes on the left as an 8, and Fred on the right as another 8. If Boubacar Kamara comes in, he's not in competition with Fred. He's in competition with Scott McTominay, who is very good. Scott McTominay is a good player, and Ralf Rangnick likes him, and he just provides a lot of different qualities in midfield. Do you think Boubacar Kamara will come in and just take Scott McTominay's spot? Maybe not now, probably in the summer, but not now. So it doesn't make sense for him to come here and then start all over again and start competing and fighting for a place in the starting lineup all over again. But maybe in the summer, Ralf Rangnick will have a clear role for him to play starting from next season. So I think that it makes sense for him to wait, and it makes sense for Manchester United also to wait, because why pay a fee for a player right now who you are not gonna use as much in the second half of the season, while we can have him for free at the end of the season when you have a clear plan for him and when you have assessed all of the options that you have and all of the options available in the market. So it makes sense to wait. So the way I see it is Manchester United right now are actually acting very sensibly, and I like it. I think that there is a sort of strategic look into the future that is happening currently at Manchester United. I think that Richard Arnold wants to do things differently to the way Ed Woodward was running things at Manchester United. I think that him and Ralf Rangnick definitely have some big plans for how to take the club forward, and I think we're gonna have a very busy summer transfer window. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm really happy that we didn't go for anyone in the January transfer window. I'm happy that we didn't panic buy anyone only for them after 1 or 2 seasons to just end up being persona non grata, like that was the case with Donny van de Beek. I'd rather we wait and then we get true, genuine class in key areas and getting in players who truly and undeniably improve us as a team, improve our starting lineup, and improve the way we play and bring us new qualities into the way we play. And I think that that's what Ralf Rangnick and Richard Arnold are doing. And I think that that's very sensible. Like, it's very hard to disagree with them. As much as I would love to see a player, you know, holding the Manchester United shirt and grinning alongside Ralf Rangnick and Richard Arnold as he completes his transfer into Manchester United, sometimes you just have to take a step back and just look at things as a whole. And I think that this is the sensible thing to do. There were not many options available. The January transfer market is notorious for not being a good value transfer window. And I think that Manchester United are right to wait. I think Ralf Rangnick can still get a top 4 finish with this squad. I believe he can. And then let's get a top 4 finish. Let's do well in the cups we're still in. And in the summer, let's have a conversation about who should we bring in. And let's kick on from there. Cheers.